My Hero Academia Season 2, Episode 16, In Their Own Quirky Ways. How is it going, party people? Fumincho here, back at it once again with another My Hero Academia review. You'll have to forgive me this time around. I am not feeling good. I did not sleep well. I'm getting this throat thing right now. My eyes are just burning right now. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm just feeling so under the weather. But that is not gonna stop me. This episode, as I was watching it, it was rejuvenating my soul. It was healing me from the inside because this episode was absolutely awesome. I loved this episode of My Hero Academia. Actually, it's probably my favorite episode of the season so far. I mean, just so much action. The most action we've seen since the first season. It really is. And I just love how much of a character showcase this episode was. Now, I was predicting that in the last week's episode preview for this one. And, I mean, just the title alone kind of gives it away. I mean, we get to really see all the different quirks that these heroes have. And there's some interesting quirks that are showcased. One of my favorite jokes or gags or whatever that they had in this episode were the two heroes that have, like, the hardening ability. One can harden his skin and, like, become a spear or a shield, and then one can turn into steel and become a spear or a shield. I love that joke that they had. That was really, really funny. That one made me laugh. That was good. But again, all the different heroes and all the different quirks, I like how each of them handled the same situation. We saw Todoroki just blasting right through. We see Bakugo, he's just flying through the air, which is really interesting. I love how he just kind of just glides along, does this little Iron Man like propulsion palm thing, which is really, really cool. We see Deku, who doesn't even use a quirk in this entire episode, but yet he manages to get first place. Interesting development for the character of Deku in this episode. I love this episode. This is such a good episode. So anyway, let me start from the beginning. So they're going across the trying to defeat all those giant robots. Todoroki and Bakugo have no problem. They get right past them. That Shadow Bird dude, you'll have to forgive me. I'm not very good with the names in this series because there's just so many characters. I'll get them eventually. Shadow Bird dude, you know who I'm talking about, the guy with the bird face. He just flies right up there. There's the Tape Man guy. It has a tape there. He just gets right up to the top of the machine and just jumps over like everyone else. The hard dudes, the dudes with the steel and the hard skin, they just blast right through. And Deku, again, doesn't quite fight. He doesn't use his quirk. He uses his brain, and I like that. That's the difference between him and the other heroes. The other heroes are so reliant on their quirks, but Deku, he's reliant on his brain first. And I like that as a hero. That's what I want to see in this type of character. And that's how you become the greatest hero, is you don't just use your quirks. It's not just about going in full-heartedly and just taking everything out. No, like, take a step back, realize what you need to do before you use your quirk. And I like that about Deku. We saw a lot of that in the first season, and how he defeated Bakugo in that hallway scene, how he didn't want to just destroy him right away, how he took him out with that judo move and slammed him on his back, that takedown move. I really like that, and we see some of that in this episode. Again, man, you'll have to forgive me. I'm really not feeling good right now. I'm like losing my voice. But yeah, we see him, he's just dodging all of the robot's attacks. He ends up grabbing a piece of the robot that I believe Bakugo destroyed, or one of the hardening guys destroyed or something, and he lodges that inside of one of the robots, and he keeps this piece and puts it on his back. Now, I didn't think that had to do any. I just thought, okay, whatever, he's just going to keep it, maybe it'll come in handy, but it really, really comes in handy in this episode. Then we see this high wire thing that all of the characters have to cross. Todoroki just straight up like Jet Set Radio grinds across the thing, which I thought was really, really awesome. Bakugo can just fly right over, of course. Suyu, she's just like comfortable in this. She loves this kind of environment. She's just climbing right across like a frog would, which is really funny. And we see Deku. He's just straight up like on his back, just crawling right across, and I thought that was really interesting. He's not using his quirk, and I'm not sure even how his quirk would come in handy in that situation. I guess he can pretty much fly. I mean, he hasn't really used his jumping ability yet, that All Might does have, but he doesn't use his ability. He just crawls right across. He doesn't want to use his quirk until absolutely necessary. That is something that he's very serious about, because he can only use it to a certain extent. He doesn't know how to fully use this quirk yet. We haven't seen him use his quirk in a very long time. I can't even I mean, since last season, since he was fighting Shigaraki. So, I mean, I don't really know what's happening there. Speaking of Shigaraki, we'll get on that later. See him get across, and then there's this minefield. Actually, another character that was kind of interesting was the character with the suit, with the weird like Iron Man metal boots and the weird goggles. That was kind of interesting. I feel like we're gonna get more stuff on her later. I guess she just built this suit herself. I'm not sure if that is technically her quirk, or if there's something else to this character. I'm not sure. I thought that was pretty interesting though. Yeah, but then we see this minefield. Now this is where the episode gets like awesome. This is my favorite part of the episode. This giant minefield. Todoroki again. I guess he just runs across. He doesn't want to use his ice skating ability or whatever, because that creates a path behind him where everyone can just catch up. And again, we see Bakugo. He's just flying through the air, trying to catch up to Todoroki, and all the other characters are careful. They're all walking through this minefield. But this is where Deku realizes this is where I have to win. This is the last like challenge of this entire obstacle course. This is where I need to take the lead. And it was so cool how this was done. He like slams the piece of metal that he had from earlier from the robot, and basically rides an explosion, like explosion surfs across the entire minefield, which I thought was just awesome. The animation in the scene, Bones doing a good job. I thought it looked absolutely awesome. And then when he catches up to Bakugo and Todoroki, oh my god, I was losing my mind of how awesome it was. It just so cool. And then he grabs the wire, I guess, that was hanging from it and slams it down and manages to catch the lead. He gets there first to the Coliseum or the stadium or whatever, and he gets in first place. And I just love that. I love how he won. I didn't think he was, to be honest. I thought Todoroki was going to take it. I actually wasn't expecting Deku to win this first challenge, but he does. And that kind of creates a problem for him, because the next challenge is called a cavalry battle. And basically, after that last challenge, everyone is ranked a certain score and everyone has a certain amount of points. If you beat that person in the cavalry battle, then you get their amount of points, or something along those lines. And Deku has the highest amount, and he's worth the most, so everyone is going after Deku. Deku's not exactly the strongest character in this series, though. That's the problem. Like, I mean, yeah, he can use his quirk and kill everybody, but he doesn't want to do that. So this is definitely going to be a good episode for next week. I'm excited to see what happens. Some other things that I like to mention. Shigaraki is watching Deku, which I think is kind of creepy and awesome at the same time. I like seeing Shigaraki. I think he's actually a cool villain. I know a lot of people didn't like him in the last season, thought he was kind of a weak villain. I think he's like just on that perfect level of mysterious and creepy and just like weird. I like Shigaraki as a villain, and I like that he's watching it. It makes sense that he's watching. He wants to see what he's up against. He wants to see the kind of heroes, or wants to see what those heroes are doing now. He's like, interesting, Deku wins this of all people. I thought that was really, really cool. Seeing Miss Midnight again, yeah, that's always something good. I love Ochako in this episode. Minette. There was I can't even remember what her quirk was. She had like a cannon or something. I don't even know. There was this big girl. She had like this metal cannon. I don't even know. She had like lights or something that was going on in her chest, or like her abdomen area. I don't know what kind of quirk she has. I'm excited to see what's going on with her later. But Mineta at the end was just hanging on to her back, which I thought was just absolutely funny. Like, I killed two birds with one stone. I thought that was super, super well done. And another one of my favorite parts. Oh my goodness, I'm losing my train of thought right now. Another one of my favorite parts, was the very end, seeing the weird like laser naval dude or whatever get in last place. I thought that was just so funny. We didn't even see him this entire competition. So yeah, next week's episode is going to be absolutely hype. This week's episode was just so good. I loved it. From the animation to the humor, it was a hilarious episode, to just the amount of action and character development. This was a good episode for sure. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. My favorite episode so far of this season. You're going to have to forgive me for this review. It's going up a little bit late. I'm just really not feeling good. I have to do an Attack on Titan review right after this. It's not that I don't want to do the reviews. It's just like, I don't know. I think I just like came down with something like last minute. So I apologize for that. Comment down below. Let me know what you think of this week's episode. Do you think it's as good as last week's? Do you like some of the action here? And tell me one of your favorite characters. I'm curious, what is your favorite character so far in this second season? No spoilers. I don't want anyone just like, oh, I like Deku because he defeated so-and-so. No, just give me your favorite character and what their quirks are about. I would like to see that in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed anything that I had to talk about today, and make sure to subscribe for, of course, my My Hero Academia reviews, as well as my Attack on Titan reviews, and gaming stuff, Nintendo stuff, of course, always keeping that up on the channel as well. And again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.